Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. It's really exciting to see this many people gathering on a Tuesday afternoon to protest the misdeeds of Palantir. So, my name is Dan Rutherford. I'm an environmental engineer that has been living in Greater Palo Alto for about 25 years. But you probably don't know me. Don't be surprised if you don't know me. I'm not affiliated with any specific local organization. I am a proud son of Minnesota. I grew up there and lived there until I was 21 years old. Minnesota has given us many great Americans. Bob Dylan,
Yeah!
Prince,
Yeah!
Sinclair Lewis,
Yeah!
and Hubert Humphrey.
Okay.
And Paul Wellstone, thank you. It also gave us Renee Nicole Good, who is the reason I'm here today. I've been forced into action by the brutality and chaos that Donald Trump's secret police has brought to Minneapolis. I'm here under the banner of No Tech for ICE to protest Palantir. Let me say a few words about the movement. We're gathered here because technology should serve humanity, not hunt us.
Yes.
We're here because surveillance should not be a business model. And we're here because Palantir Technologies has spent over a decade profiting from the pain of vulnerable families here and abroad.
No profit for blood!
Palantir isn't just another tech company. For more than 10 years, they have provided the infrastructure that powers ICE's deportation machine. Their technology connects databases against federal, state, and local agencies, creating unprecedented levels of surveillance on immigrant communities. When ICE raids a workplace, when they track down the relatives of migrant children, when they gather intelligence to separate families, Palantir systems are there, making it possible. Just 7 days ago, or several days ago, on January 7th, we saw the deadly consequences of Palantir's technology. Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old mother of 3, was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. She was an American citizen, a trained responder who had dropped her 6-year-old off at school that morning. She was standing in solidarity with her Latino and Somali neighbors, alerting them to ICE's presence in the community. She had a whistle, ICE had guns, and they had Palantir's technology telling them exactly where to go. ICE agents were using Palantir's Elite app, a tool that creates maps of deportation targets, pulling up dossiers on people and providing confidence scores on their addresses. This is the same technology that's being used in workplace raids and mass enforcement operations all across the country. As you've probably seen, video evidence shows Renee steering her car away from the agent, who shot her 3 times at point-blank range. Yet the Trump regime is calling her a domestic terrorist. And they're now investigating her widow instead of the agent who murdered her. Renee's death is not an isolated incident. Since September, ICE agents have opened fire on people 9 times in 5 states. The escalation is enabled by Palantir's technology and fueled by hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts that turn surveillance into profit. Palantir was founded with deep ties with the Department of Defense. They built their reputation on military contracts and intelligence work, and now they've turned that technology, tools designed for war zones, on our own communities. And they've made billions of dollars doing it.
Shame!
While families were torn apart at the border, Palantir went public. When children were detained in cages, Palantir executives cashed in on stock options. This is corporate greed and oppression wearing the mask of innovation.
Shame, shame.
But here's what Palantir doesn't want you to know. We are fighting back, and we're going to win. Students across the country have made Palantir the least popular company on campus. Major conferences have dropped them as co-sponsors. Artists have boycotted their partners. And tech workers inside these Silicon Valley companies are refusing to build the tools of deportation. Today we stand in honor of these allies. We're here because silence is complicity. We're here to say that our humanity is not for sale. And we're here to demand that technology serves justice, not injustice. So, over the next hour, we're going to make our dissatisfaction with companies like Palantir crystal clear. We've got about an hour of great speakers for you, along with some music and also some dancing, and also some chanting. So I hope you can stick around for the full hour. But I want you first and foremost, I want to thank all of you for coming here today, for standing with us and for refusing to look away.
And thanks, Dan, for organizing.
Hi, I'm Mariya Genzel, and I'm...
Hold this.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm the lead at It's Blue Turn. We're a group of volunteers who have been meeting since 2015 to defend and advance our democracy. We're one of the oldest indivisible groups on the peninsula, and we're still here because of, all of this, and because people like you keep showing up year after year, even when it would be easier to just tune out. Look around you for a second. These are all of your fellow defenders of democracy. Can you please say hi to at least one new person before you leave today? There is a reason why we're standing in front of Palantir today. Palantir named itself after Tolkien's Palantir, the seeing stone that lets the powerful watch anyone, anywhere, and twist what they see. In the real world, however, Palantir builds AI seeing stones for governments, militaries, and police. Their software swallows oceans of data from social media, financial records, biometrics, location history, and turns human beings like us into dossiers and risk factors. Billionaires Peter Theil and Alex Karp have used these tools to win billions in government contracts. ICE has been using Palantir as its digital backbone for over a decade. Their systems pull in the information on all of us. They help ICE map neighborhoods, they track so-called self-deportations, and generate lists of who to arrest. When the agents surround a day labor corner or show up at somebody's home at 5 a.m., they often are acting on a list built right here. If you think that people in our community should not be hunted by data pulled from this office, can you make some noise right now? Under Trump, Palantir's role has grown even more dangerous. Agencies were pushed to pull data from Homeland Defense, Homeland Security, Defense, Health and Human Services, Social Security, and even IRS, and more, toward a super database on nearly everyone in this country. Does anyone here trust Donald Trump with this database? I do not either. Once you have that machinery, the difference between immigration enforcement and a tool for targeting political opponents, journalists, or protesters like us is just a matter of policy. Now, Palantir likes to say that they're just providing the tools, they're just providing the software, but in AI, design is policy. Someone decides which data counts, what triggers an alert, who gets flagged as high risk. We have already seen the so-called neutral algorithms in criminal justice mark black people as high risk at far higher rates than white people. Palantir gets a foothold, it spreads. For example, at JP Morgan, their software was used to monitor workers, but eventually even the top executives ended up being under constant surveillance. Police departments have used Palantir to build lists of persons of interest and to map already over-policed neighborhoods, creating more drama. Now, all of this is wrapped in the politics of the oligarchs, the founders of Palantir. Peter Theil, for example, has argued that women have gotten the vote, social programs expanded, and so because of this, the democracy is basically an oxymoron. People like him, they think that democracy is just a nuisance to be managed. Now, this is not just about one creepy tech company. It's about whether we get to live in an open, democratic society or under permanent suspicion. So, the good news is the people in this crowd are not just here to yell, although please do, but also they will not just go home, right? Right. They will not just go home. Now, for one, if you haven't gotten one of these from one of my folks, please grab this. This is a brochure that describes a lot of the things that I talked about today. At its blue turn, every team is working on some piece of resisting this digital authoritarianism. You can join our ICE Awareness Corps that helps protect our neighborhoods from ICE harassment. You can show up for protests and actions like this. You can plug on into various teams to help protect our neighborhoods and help advance democracy. Now, for February 7th, we are hosting an event in Palo Alto called Fighting for America, How to Win 2026. We'll be talking about concrete strategy to win elections in 2026 so that we can elect politicians who can actually stand up to companies like Palantir and say, no, you don't get to turn our communities into a laboratory for authoritarian tech. So if you're angry, stay angry, but also get organized. Because Theil and Palantir, they want us to believe that their vision of the future is inevitable, but it is our job to prove them wrong.
Hey everybody, I am Melissa Dinwiddie. I am the founder of Indivisible Palo Alto Plus, as you just heard. Thank you. So I am not a professional activist. I'm a regular person, just like all of you. After Trump was elected the second time, boo, I realized something really simple. Tyranny thrives on isolation. And community is how we survive. So, I took one step. I sent an email. And 12 people showed up in a living room. Today, Indivisible Palo Alto Plus is over 630 members strong. Yes, now that is not magic. That is what happens when ordinary people say yes and figure it out together. Yes. Can I have an amen?
Amen.
And that's what people are doing right now in Minnesota. And I want to share some words from a friend of a friend in Minneapolis, a report from the front. Because what's happening there is not isolated. It's a warning. Now, this is an excerpt from a longer letter that details a lot of atrocities that are happening. I'm sure a lot of you have seen a bunch of video of terrible, terrible things that are happening. And this person reported direct eyewitness accounts of what's happening in his neighborhood. But I want to share the hope that he shared in this letter. And he writes, and I quote, "My one hope, my shred of hope is community. On Saturday, thousands peacefully gathered in the park behind my house to demand ICE leave. I listened to a brass band play "Oh Freedom" and watched people help each other over the actual ice, which at this point of Minnesota winter has made sidewalks into dangerous skating rinks. I saw a glimmer of how we might prevail with connection, love, mutual aid, clarity of purpose, and resistance of every kind. But to have any chance, it is going to take all of us, every single one.
Yes!
That paragraph is why we're here today. What's happening in Minnesota is not accidental. It's a system designed to intimidate and disappear people. And systems don't run themselves. Which brings us to Palantir. Palantir wants to tell a story that what they build is neutral, that it's just data, just tools, just code. But when technology is used to track families, enable raids, and tear communities apart, neutrality is a lie. Every engineer knows this. What you build shapes what is possible. And people live with the consequences. This is about a moral line. And if you're here today, especially if you're newly radicalized or uncomfortable or unsure what your role is, this is your invitation. You don't have to have done this before, you don't have to know all the answers, and you don't have to be fearless. You just have to refuse to look away. If you're a tech worker, your skills matter. Your voice matters. Silence is a choice, and so is courage. If you're a neighbor or ally, showing up matters more than perfection. If you're here because something in you snapped awake recently, welcome, you belong here.
Yeah.
Community is not abstract. It looks like standing together outside this building. It looks like refusing to let suffering be hidden behind algorithms and contracts. Palantir thinks they can quietly profit from pain. We are here to show them that when communities stand together, we are more powerful than any system they build. No tech for ICE, no profits from pain, not in our name. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Cara Silver from Indivisible Palo Alto Plus. She's speaking on immigrant rights.
Thank you. So great to see all of you. As you know, what we all have in common is that we all are descendants from immigrants. And whenever I discuss immigration, I always start with that premise, that we are all immigrants. America has the largest number of immigrants in the world, other than descendants of Native Americans and enslaved Africans. All people in this country can trace at least part of their ancestry to an immigrant. Immigrants are necessary to the United States. They create an essential role for our labor force in areas of agriculture, construction, healthcare, and STEM, often in physically demanding jobs or specialized fields with shortages. Remember the COVID-19 essential workers who were primarily immigrants? Entrepreneurship. Immigrants start businesses at much higher rates than native-born citizens. Tax revenue. Immigrants, regardless of status, contribute billions in federal, state, and local taxes. This included $60 billion in federal taxes alone. Supporting Social Security and Medicare. Immigrants' contributions to payroll taxes help support these programs, offsetting costs as the native-born population ages and younger workers come online. Community revitalization. Immigrants often move into and revitalize neighborhoods, enriching cultural diversity. Where would we be without our local ramen shop or our taco stands? And
I love ramen and tacos.
and innovation. Immigrants hold one of the highest percentage of patent filings and have brought significant scientific innovation, bringing new ideas and skills that benefit the entire nation. To save our immigrant community and our own morality, we must abolish ICE. ICE has no training. They are recruiting people with large sign-on bonuses, giving them weapons and deploying them into our local streets. ICE is murdering people in the streets without any recourse. Renee Good was a U.S. citizen who was simply observing what was happening. ICE has detained so many people they have nowhere to place them. As reported by 60 Minutes story on Epcot, the conditions of the detainees are horrible, and now we are starting to see homicides take place inside the detention centers. ICE is not making American cities safe. Less than 5% of the undocumented people detained by ICE have any criminal record, let alone a record of violent activity. ICE is causing local businesses to close, students to skip school, and people to feel unsafe in their own communities. ICE is being used to militarize our cities. Even local law enforcement is filing lawsuits against ICE encroachment. Congress has appropriated an insane amount of funding to ICE. Think of how that money could be better spent building homes, subsidizing health care, and building up our transportation system, just to name a few. Trump is using ICE for political means, to distract, to show his political power, and to instill fear in all of us. Finally, ICE is a distraction to the disclosure of the Epstein files and the legitimate investigation and prosecution of pedophiles. Does anyone think it is a coincidence that ICE invaded Minneapolis the day after the FBI announced only 1% of the Epstein files had been released? What can we do? Contact your senator or representative in Congress and urge them to demand the Department of Justice work with state and local law enforcement to investigate the death of Renee Nicole Good, to withhold all funding to ICE and its deportation programs until this agency can be reformed. Number 2, join a rapid response network. Get training to become a rapid responder. Help protect the rights and safety of our neighbors. Number 3, sign up to volunteer with one of the groups that are working to flip Congress. Swing Left, Bay Area Coalition, or Sister District, to name a few. And attend our February 7 workshop in Palo Alto on voting rights and the road to flipping the election in 2026. Finally, get rid of Palantir and its abominable work in this area.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Pauline Neil. I am a registered nurse, and I've been a registered nurse for 16 years. I work at Kaiser Santa Clara, and I'm a union nurse from the California Nurses Association. We're here to talk a little bit about Palantir. Palantir is embedding its technologies through the U.S. government and has set its sights on expanding its partnerships with the nation's largest hospital chains. Hospitals are partnering with Palantir to automate bed allocation, staffing, scheduling, communications, and insurance companies, and some hospitals are even using Palantir software to analyze patient data. This is the same Palantir whose surveillance technology powers ICE raids, fuels the genocide in Gaza, and builds tools for the Department of Defense. Palantir's co-founder and chair, Peter Theil, has proudly said, "I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible." And hospital CEOs see this and are clamoring hand over hand patient data and to automate staffing with Palantir's unaccountable tech profiteers. In fact, Kaiser spent $1 billion to purchase the largest health system in Greensboro, North Carolina called Cone Health, and Cone Health utilizes Palantir for its automated staffing. Hospital systems like HCA Healthcare and Kaiser-affiliated Cone Health use Palantir to automate their nurse scheduling, to reduce staffing and control the work of nurses. Also, 80 HCA facilities nationwide utilize Palantir. Using Palantir undermines the clinical judgment of nurses to take humanity out of healthcare, and nurses' clinical judgment should not be undermined by hospital CEOs and Palantir tech oligarchs looking for profit over patient care. As registered nurses, we demand transparency, commitment to social justice, because ICE is a threat to public safety, and public safety is our jam.
First, I want to start off by explaining the butterfly. I guess many of you know me as the dancing butterfly. So I started dancing as the butterfly in support of immigrant rights, and because the monarch butterfly is the symbol of immigrants crossing borders freely from Central America all the way up to the Canadian border. But the butterfly is also a beautiful metaphor for protecting nature, for freedom, for peace, for so many things that we desire and that are apparently in short supply in our world today. But I want to talk a little bit about, what's inside this building. So what's inside this building is, the Epstein. This building, this company, is in the Epstein files. Okay, believe me, because Jeffrey Epstein played a big role in starting Palantir, because he put $40 million into Palantir in 2005. Oh, shame.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. And, I know most of you are aware, you're all aware of Palantir's connections to ICE, the technology that it's providing to ICE. And I think many of you are also aware that this technology is also being provided to Israel. But this is not merely a matter of profits. Okay, for some other companies like Google, like Microsoft, like Hewlett Packard, it's probably mostly about profits. and they consider themselves that they're just turning a blind eye to the applications of their software and their technology. But Palantir is different because Palantir has an intentionality. Okay, because they intentionally support Israel. They intentionally support the genocide. So after October 7th, Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir, decided that he was going to explicitly support Israel by calling a board of directors meeting in Tel Aviv at the beginning of 2004. He also held what were called strategic talks between Palantir and the Israeli Defense Ministry in January of 2024. And he said that Palantir represents this digital kill chain, the digital kill chain in Gaza. He was very proud of that. So there's an intentionality here that is just like the difference between a mass killing and genocide. Genocide is the intent to destroy an ethnicity or an identity. In this case, Palantir's CEO Alex Karp has the intentionality to support genocide. And that makes him complicit in this genocide. And Palantir is therefore complicit in this genocide. Shame. 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 I'm so proud that we are here to protest against this company. This company is pure evil. It's pure evil. Anyway, so what we want is Palantir out of Palo Alto. Palantir out of Palo Alto. Palantir out. Palantir out.
Hey, ho, ho.
Palantir out. Hey, ho, ho. Palantir has got to go. Hey, ho, ho. Palantir has got to go.
So what do we do when our neighbors are under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do when immigrants are under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine in my sister's soul. I'm gonna let it shine in my sister's soul. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. In my brother's house, I'm gonna let it shine. In my brother's house, I'm gonna let it shine. In my brother's house, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. In my mind, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
One more time. Woo!
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Miente has begun. We've seen Palantir drop from conferences. We've seen shareholder revolts. We've disrupted their talent pipeline, and will continue to succeed. So here's what happens next. Please talk to your friends, your family, and your coworkers about Palantir's support for the Trump regime. Post on social media using hashtag #NoTechForIce and hashtag #PurgePalantir. Make noise, make yourself heard, and make yourself impossible to ignore. In particular, Miente, that's M-I-J-E-N-T-E, is the organization behind the No Tech for ICE campaign. So please give them your support. Please check out their website. They have lots of tools for activists online that you can use. So in closing, I'll leave this with you. You came here today because you believe in something better. You believe in justice. You believe Renee Nicole Good should still be alive. You believe in a world where technology serves humanity instead of hunts it. So please, please hold on to that belief. Let it fuel your actions. Let it guide your organizing. We are going to take back tech from those who use it for harm. We're standing with immigrant communities, with targeted individuals, and with anyone who refuses to accept the logic that profit matters more than the people. So thank you again for being here today. Thank you for your courage, and thank you for joining this fight. No Tech for ICE and Purge Palantir.